Hey everybody, it's Deanna with toolsofenergyprotection.com, your energy shift expert, and we're live tonight on Instagram and Facebook. And I want to give a chance for everybody to jump on. I know it takes a while for them to send out the notices and everything. So while we're doing that, and giving a chance for everybody to jump on, I'd like to talk a little bit about, what's going on in the world right now. It's craziness, absolute craziness for the world and how things are shaping up and the world scene at large. If you get a look at it, we've got a woman in Great Britain who's been queen for a very long time, and looks like she may be transitioning out of that position this year, which will put somebody new in. And then when that new person comes on board, that's going to change the way that the world works. It's like any relationship. If one person in the relationship changes, then we all change. So if you have like a group of friends and somebody moves away, or if you have a group of friends and a new one comes on board, the whole dynamics of everything change. So if you would imagine a mobile, we often buy those in the States for our kids and we hang them up above their cribs. And as long as everything on the mobile is fine, it stays. You can bounce it and it'll come back to where the normal average is. And then if you take one thing off, it causes the mobile to be off. So that is what's happening across the board in our world. And the electromagnetism, or the resonant frequency, has pretty much been off the scale a lot lately, up and down, up and down. And it affects everybody. And so as those things change, our planet is going to, of course, change. And then so will how the course of things go. And there's a lot of scare right now with the economy. And there's different people that talk to me about how their stocks are going and different political parties. And, if you see it from one point of view, there's a lot of fear. If you see it from another point of view, there's a lot less fear. And so it's really this time in our world history, in our lives, where we're standing on a teeter-totter, and it's, where's your balance? Where are you with balance with this teeter-totter? And it's quite exhausting, actually. And I noticed that even tonight, today I had a very extremely exhausting day, and a lot of challenges in my life right now, just insurmountable. Wonder I can still laugh. And so as these challenges have come up, it's stuff that's always been in my life. And, I'm being asked to make a new change in my life. And what do I really desire? And most of the time I'm pretty much in control of my life, and I have things running in a particular direction that I like. And those things have been removed. And so I've had to find new things to work into the different spaces in my life. And again, it's this feeling of back and forth, and up and down. And it's really harsh and it's really hard. And I keep asking God's spirit or source to show me the truth, the love, and the light of the situation. I say, hey, I know that what we're doing in my life is closing some doors and opening others. I've been on that path before. But this one seems particularly more exhausting because, frankly, there's some things I am just not willing to let go of. And if I let go of them, then they fall. And when they fall hard. So there are some areas in my life right now that are just a total and complete mess, because my choice was either to attempt to control them and hold on to them and keep them rolling in a time that was very hard, or to let go. And I chose to let go. It may not have been a right choice, may not have been a wrong choice, but it's a choice nonetheless. And so now some of the fallout is coming from that. And it's extremely stressful, because I feel like if I would have controlled it better, it wouldn't have happened that way. But there's only so much that we can do as human beings. There's only so many hours in a day. There's only so much energy we have. And so I feel like this is the universe's way of telling us there's some things we're going to have to let go of, and some balances to be made. And one of my big challenges is boundaries. quite frankly, I'm better than I used to be, but there's some very swift boundaries that have been drawn in my life over the last couple of days because I've been taking on other people's stuff. That's really their responsibility, and they can choose to do it or not. And if they choose not to, yes, it has some bearing on my life. That's why I would take on some of the responsibility. But, it may be a lesson they need to learn. One of the things I like to tell my students is sometimes you're the windshield and sometimes you're the bug. And I don't know, a lot of times we go around our life thinking things are happening to us when actually what's happening is we're experiencing life with other people. We're experiencing dramas, if you will, because that's the whole point of life. I mean, that's the whole point of coming into body and being in a human body is to experience life. And life's messy. Plain and simple. None of us are getting out of it alive, right? Okay. And life is messy. Not everybody that is in your life is in perfect order. And, as Americans, if you're a moviegoer, like, I used to enjoy going to the movies and, you have a drama and it's laid out and wrapped up in less than 2 hours. And that's just not how life is. It's ongoing. It's not like going to college or going to school, where at the end of the semester, you either passed or you didn't, and you're on to the next thing, it's just engaging all the time. So, I thought about not coming on tonight because I am exhausted and I have had just a very rough day. But, it's important that I be real with everybody to know that, my life just isn't perfect. Sometimes people tell me they think I have, a charmed life, and I do to a certain extent. But, I still have to experience things in life that aren't always stellar or easy. And there's 3 ways to respond to situations that is not productive, and it's called fight, flight, or freeze. And I don't like fighting so much. And flight, is where you just kind of dump whatever the issue is and leave it on somebody else's lap to deal with. And then frozen is just simply to sit there and stare at the problem, hoping it'll go away, and it just doesn't. So, when I feel that way, I know that there's many of you out there that are feeling that way too, and that's why I come on and be real, to let you know that this portal that we're in. For those of you that aren't familiar with metaphysics, a vortex is like a doorway. It's like a circular doorway. So if you go in and out of your door, that's a vortex. And a portal is more like an elevator, at least in my world. It's more like an elevator, and it goes up and down. And so this most recent portal is a energy space that's inviting us into this new life. It's inviting us to go forward into our lives. And as we've been talking about over the last few weeks, in order for you to go forward, you have to leave some stuff behind. And I posted real recently on Facebook a video of this cat that was trying to jump up in a chair, and he went through the 2 spindles on the side of the chair that hold up the arm, and he couldn't quite get his hiney in. And so he's wriggling back and forth trying to make that fit in instead of just simply backing out and jumping up in the chair. And I think that happens to a lot of us, especially right now, where our desire is to pull through, whatever tight situation we're in. If we just wriggle everything right, we'll win. We can get it done, we can get it through. And that's not this time. This time is about leaving things behind that don't suit you, that don't agree with you, and that is challenging because there's, I've had several people tell me, I don't like my job. Can I just leave it behind? Well, sure, why not? However, there's obligations that you may have, pay the bills, pay the mortgage, feed your kids, all that kind of thing. So in that aspect, leaving the job behind may not be the ideal. You can start to apply for other jobs. You can start to look for other work that's more suitable for you, so that as you make the transition, it is done in integrity, or it's done in a way that's good and smooth for you. You know, think about right now, maybe I don't bungee jump personally, but I've seen people do it. And, you know, you've got the bungee on, you're standing at the edge, and you wonder if you dive off, are you going to bounce for a while? You know, that's where things are pretty much right now. They're again, it's just a balancing act. And there's some things that need to come off of that teeter-totter and need to be reorganized. And that's really a tough part, because, you know, there's some things that I'm rebalancing in my life, and there's people that I desire to take on responsibility that's really theirs, that I've, you know, helped out with for a while, and it's time for them to take it on. And I don't think they're going to, but I still had to give them that opportunity to do it. And handing people their responsibility, and, you know, then desiring for them to take it on, they may not take it on. And so then the responsibility just kind of sits there in front of you, and you're wondering what to do with it. That's another space that people are finding themselves in. So do the best you can to communicate with those people that you would like to see pick up responsibility maybe you've been holding in the past, or be willing to let that stuff go that's not yours, and the person either picks it up or they don't. And all you can control is how you react to it. And getting upset and getting a lot of anxiety isn't always the best choice in reaction. You know, in wisdom, if it's going to hurt you in the long run, then, you know, pick up what you can to keep yourself from being in that position of being very hurt. You know, don't want to, I'm going to use a funny example because my guides are telling me this is kind of funny. It's like if you have somebody come to you and they want to buy a new car and they need a cosigner, and you cosign. Well, when you cosign, that means if that person defaults, you are responsible for making the payments, like it or not. So let's say somebody defaults on that loan, or they're late, and you keep encouraging them to take care of it, but they know that you will if they don't. So they decide, nah, I'm not taking care of it anymore. This person will get it. No worries. What are you going to do? And that's similar to what's happening right now in our world. So you have some choices. Are you going to keep making the payments and let that person continue to drive the car, not making the payments? Are you going to call your insurance company and make sure that car's insured on your insurance policy? Because if they're not paying the payments, are they insured properly? Are you going to send a tow truck to reclaim that? And what are the legal implications? You know, that kind of thing. So I know it's kind of a far out there example because it's more tangible, but that's what's happening on our planet. And where are you in that decision process? Are you wavering back and forth saying, oh, well, you know, I'll just let them keep driving the car and I'll keep bugging them about the payment, you know, and it's a drain of your energy, your resources, you get upset, you tire yourself out. That's where it's at. So if any of the rest of you are in that space with me, if you could give me a thumbs up or hearts, you know, for the Instagram audience, and let me know that you're with me and it's not just me. All right, while we're waiting for the feed to catch up there, sometimes you all hit likes and stuff and I don't see them for a while. I am also, amongst all the rest of this fun stuff, I'm getting ready for the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo in Denver, Colorado, at the Denver Merchandise Mart, which is at, oh, there's one thumbs up. Good. At least one person's with me. Okay. The rest of you are either asleep or I'm just, me and the other person are in our world by ourselves. But anyways, Denver Merchandise Mart at 451 East 58th Avenue in Denver, Colorado. And that's going to be this weekend, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And Friday, I will be there 1 to 9, Saturday 10 to 7, and Sunday 10 to 6. And the admission at the door is $7, or you can go online and buy a pass. I think you can when you get there for the whole 3-day event. And there's lots of people there, and I'll be there. doing appointments, 20 minutes, $20, which if you haven't had a chance to work with me and you've been seeking that out, that's a great deal. It's the lowest deal, dollar for time you're going to find there. Sorry, that's not too eloquent. And then this coming Thursday, now we're expecting a really big storm here in Denver, Colorado, a spring snowstorm, if you will. So tomorrow, or sorry, not tomorrow, I'm saying tomorrow, Thursday, at the For Heaven's Sakes bookstore, barring a major snowstorm, I will be there, and you can call 303-964-9339 to line up the time to come in if you'd like to get started, before the fair. If you'd like to have a more personal and private session. But if there's any questions, Instagram or Facebook, go ahead and post them. But again, this is just a really big shift of, what are you going to take with you through this portal? The portal is open between us and a higher level of consciousness. And that opened last Saturday and Sunday. And I taught a private class, and my students were feeling like angels touching them. And we had stuff that was falling off the shelves in my office, or shuffling anyway, because the energies are so intense right now. It is a great time of spiritual awakening. So if you're desiring to do that, I will have some classes I'm going to announce coming up here. I will teach one on the internet, and then one, here more locally in the Colorado area. And I also put up in my blog last time 7 sequential steps to transform your life. And I ask all of you to go and, fill out the questionnaire if you wanted to work with me. And I do apologize if you did fill that out and you haven't heard from me yet. Private message me in Instagram, Facebook, on my website, because for whatever reason, the questionnaire widget somehow or another didn't manage to send the messages to me. So apparently I've missed several of you, and I do apologize for that. If you're seeing this broadcast and you sent one, please reach out to me another way, because I still will do those the week after the fair. And I have my technical person working on that right now, trying to figure out why in the heck, things didn't go from the questionnaire here. But, Venus is in retrograde. So if that's what's going on, that's what's going on. If there's any questions, please put them in the feed. I'm going to look right here. I don't see anything on Instagram as far as questions go. So I'll look over here in Facebook and see if there's anything over here. Looks like hi to Karen, and hi to Joe, hi to Ron, hi for Shannon. Shannon says she's been exhausted as well. Thank you, Shannon, for joining me, and big kisses to you that you're right in that boat with me. But other than that, I'm going to keep it short tonight and just tell you that this is a huge shift. It's a huge change. Find where your heart is. Find the responsibilities that you desire. Now, some of them we don't desire. For those of us here in the States, we're getting up on tax season, and we got to file our taxes, and that's a responsibility that you have to engage with. And there's other responsibilities, like I said, taking care of your family, taking care of yourself. But if there's things that other people have put on your plate, or you've taken upon yourself, draw some safe boundaries and let them know that the stuff is not yours, and it's going to fall where it may. And when it falls, if you're involved in it somehow, you'll face some consequence as well. But the other person will learn, and it is a time of learning. So that's pretty much it. Now that I am transmitting on Instagram and Facebook at the same time, none of my fun music right at the moment, until I find a different way to play it. But anyways, that's it. I really hope that you'll come out to the Denver Merchandise Mart Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and come see me. I'll have my schedule up every 20 minutes for the spaces that I have left, or you can go to toolsofenergyprotection.com and click on personal appointments and put yourself in there. Just be sure to be on time for that appointment. If not, at least wave to me when you're going by if I'm not totally wrapped up in the session that I'm doing at that moment. I'll wave to you when you go by. So have a great and wonderful night. Get some rest. Drink plenty of water. I will see you either at Thursday at For Heaven's Sakes Books, or I will see you at the Denver Merchandise Mart, or I will see you back here Tuesday for Facebook and Instagram Live. Have a great and wonderful night. Big hugs and kisses to everybody.